ask Jon Weidnenman to come to the podium, and Jon is going to read a few words for us. Jon's a good friend of the family, a faithful friend of Gene's, and from what I understand, the Taekwondo connection. Is that correct? And so, Jon, why don't you come up here?
Scrawny, I called him a furry chopstick, walked into the studio, and I realized instantly Gene looked just like me. We had a great friendship. It was built on Gene splitting my lip, me cracking a few ribs, me blacking his eye, and Gene always breaking my nose. We were on a first-name basis at the Rowland Heights Urgent Care Center with the attending physician. Our teacher, now Supreme Grandmaster Chang, was without question the greatest, most disciplined traditional instructor around at the time, and Gene and I were completely opposite from him. It was truly remarkable when Gene and I trained together. We were always constantly trying to outdo each other. Simultaneously, at that point in time, we were always refining each other, pointing out each other's imperfections, and growing from this process. And that's a very unique, I think, relationship to have with a person. We helped each other realize our potential, and that's something that carried into Gene's teaching with all of his wonderful students. Gene was born on November 11th, 1956, in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, by Gabriel and Eugene Hahn. Gene was the youngest of 5 children. His 2 sisters, Lillian and Edith, have predeceased Gene, are now waiting in heaven. And his brother, Bernie or Bernard, and Margaret or Maggie, his wife, are living in Tennessee, where if they have anything to do with it, we will all be moving there before the year's out, okay? Sister Carmen and husband Chuck live locally, Christine also. Brother and sisters have both been incessant in their prayers and mental and spiritual support in all the days that have passed with the Hahn family. The extended family includes dozens of cousins, which I could not name them all without being here for a long, long time, and a phenomenal amount of caring and loving friends. I couldn't name them all, but Diane and Robert, Rick, and definitely the Collins family just popped into mind. Thank you so much, you guys. Gene and his brothers and sisters grew up in a home enriched by both Hungarian and French backgrounds. 3 languages are spoken, German, French, and English, and I think I have that right. I remember Gene's dad, when he got mad, or Gene, when he didn't want me to understand something, spoke fluent German. Gene graduated from Sierra High School in 1974. He then joined the Army and proudly served for 2.5 years in Germany. After an honorable discharge, he returned to sunny Southern California, and something remarkable happened. Here, Gene met the absolute love of his life, Darlene, whom he had known in high school and become pleasantly reacquainted with. I know Gene pretty well, and I do believe he was smitten if struck by lightning. Darlene's name came up in about every other sentence. Not that I was jealous or anything, but it was coming up quite a bit. And Gene always had a great sense of physical balance, as all of you know. But Darlene brought a special focus and spiritual balance to Gene that would define Gene as a father, friend, and a man of faith. Early in their relationship, Gene asked Darlene what she thought of his beard. And she simply said, "I don't like it." Enough said, Gene thought, and he shaved it immediately. So one day, Gene shows up to class, and he doesn't have his beard. We had this ongoing thing on who would shave our beards first. Gene lost that one. I knew his ship was sunk in a very good way, and of course, Darlene had everything to do with that. Gene and Darlene have been blissfully married now for 23 years. Their union was one of true partnership on all levels, laced with passion, compassion, loving communication, all intertwined with an unwavering Christian belief and principles. Darlene and Gene were blessed with 2 beloved, wonderful children, James and Kirsten. Gene and I used to talk every day about when we would have families. We ended up both having sons about the same age, and that was really neat. Gene was always sharing James' successes and accomplishments with me, his poetry, his Taekwondo, his soccer, his writing, his books, when he got his first car, and most of all, Taekwondo. Kirsten, his precious daughter, was a happy handful, definitely Daddy's little girl. All her successes were Gene's personal triumphs, and he was always very proud of her. Gene would always talk about her accomplishments in school, but most of all, Taekwondo. Those of you not in Taekwondo are probably seeing a trend here, right? Gene was dedicated and accomplished diesel mechanic. For his whole career, he always took great pride in his work, often persisting with difficult challenge of diagnostic situations. Gene had achieved the highest certifications available in his field, and just prior to his illness was promoted as a diesel technician trainer, which he undertook with gusto and energy. Which, of course, we all know he's known for. Gene was a born teacher, and he was in his element. Gene was a born mechanic. He could fix anything. And the things he could not fix, he found another use for. I often think about how beautiful and complete our lives would be if we could follow that simple example. If we couldn't make use of it and we couldn't get it fixed, maybe try something else we could do with it. In this resolve, Gene reminded me, and reminds us perhaps, to build bridges, not dams, to control what we can control, and to cut things loose. Don't sweat the small stuff. I think that kind of symbolizes the way I felt about Gene. Since Gene was young, martial arts have been an indelible and inseparable part of him and who he was. Gene began training in 1966 and went on to achieve a 5th-degree black belt and the title of Master in Chang Moo Kwan Taekwondo. I am very proud today, as Gene Hahn will be receiving the Chang Moo Kwan's highest honor of achievement. It's called the Award of Honor. At this time, if I could Master Fullerton and Master Johns come up, please? And then, if it's not too much to ask, could I have all our students that are here today with us stand up, please? And then how about all the people that Gene's lives has touched through his Taekwondo and his martial arts? Could you stand? All the people that remotely had it. It's phenomenal. That's more than, I would say, 3/4 of the people here. I would like, if it's okay with you, if you could remain standing, I'd like to read. Master Johns did this certificate, and I would like to, I will read what it says here while Master Chung holds it up. And we're presenting this, Darlene, we'll come down and present it to you if you don't mind. Master Gene Hahn is presented with this award for total dedication to the art of Chang Moo Kwan Taekwondo. Master Gene Hahn has tirelessly devoted himself to teaching and promoting Chang Moo Kwan to the people in his community. And in addition, Master Gene Hahn has distinguished himself by his commitment to cultivating the capabilities mentally, physically, and spiritually of Americans' youth. Master Gene Hahn is respectfully recognized for his steadfast promotion of Chang Moo Kwan and the Chang Moo Kwan fighting team, and global recognition and acknowledgement has brought the traditional art of Chang Moo Kwan. Master Gene Hahn has transcended all expectations of a martial artist, his selfless promotion of Chang Moo Kwan, and the betterment of the community throughout his last 35 years. And Master Hahn, would you present that to Mrs. Hahn? And of course, in presenting it, Mrs. Hahn, Mrs. Master Hahn, with Kirsten and James, with respect to them as well. We also have a belt that we have presented to the family. It has the names. It has our name art of Chang Moo Kwan. It has Grandmaster, Supreme Grandmaster Chung Dae Wong on it, and it also has Gene Hahn's name. And out of respect for the family, we've printed Darlene, Kirsten, and James's name, and it's the 5 stripes. My students, we just come attention and bow. Darlene, we appreciate your husband's commitment to everything we've done. We definitely, our world would not be the same without him, nor would the world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gene Hahn's passion for the martial arts was shared by both son James and daughter Kirsten, who accompanied him to class and helped him teach, fulfilling a strong desire in Gene's Gene to basically train alongside his kids. Kirsten and James' individual tests, tournaments, and triumphs were part of Gene's true motivation. Darlene was the ultimate karate mom, okay? She would make sure the path was clear for Gene to accomplish everything that he was not only capable of doing, but quite honestly, and I think she would agree with me, meant to do. Darlene shared with me not too long ago how she fully recognized the importance of the martial arts in Gene and the family and actively took a role in supporting Gene in doing so. She enriched the community, Gene's lives, the family's life, and inevitably Chang Moo Kwan. How much does that rock you guys? I mean, it really does. Darlene knew how to make Gene tick. She actually told me she would literally kick Gene out of the house to make him teach or to have him go teach, and I know how much Gene appreciated and embraced this. I think it catapulted him to being in everything he could be in the martial arts and in other aspects of his life. Darlene, you are truly an amazing person. Amazing person. Gene's life is defined by integrity, honesty, loyalty, charity, and faith. Dedicated to his faith, Gene lived the life with his strong Christian values as the infrastructure, which fueled his personal commitment to his family and his community. Moreover, this faith carried the Hahn family through recently unthinkable tragedy in hard personal times. Gene's legacy is secured by the life that Gene lived, the example that he led. The path he walked, along the path he walked, he helped many people along the way. Gene knew how to make a very complicated thing simple. Live honorably, live an honorable life, help others, be truthful, and act with integrity, and most of all, be thankful and show it. In doing so, I think everything fell into place for Gene and his family, and many of us in this room. If you have a God-given talent, Gene used to say, you have an obligation to share it. And Gene did it, playing it forward with thousands of young men and women. Gene was a master mechanic and a fixer of things. He applied this to the character, challenges, and obstacles of the people that he's touched, the lives that he changed, and the students that he taught. As we look at Gene's community, it is evident there is a beauty and simplicity in what Gene created in his living life. All good prevails, and virtue can change our world. The family, of course, thanks everybody for being here today. I cannot tell you how much of an important part Gene's played in my life. And again, it's been a true honor to be a part of this family, which I'm an adopted uncle, by the way, and be a part of the community that he's created. So I'd like to thank everybody and give you the love from the family and myself. Thank you.